Live from Haywood's on the Green in Mill Hall, it is time for the Lock Haven University Coaches Show. I'm Jonathan Schwab, and for the next half an hour, we'll talk with Lock Haven University coaches, recapping the week that was and taking a look ahead to the week to be. And as we get going on this Tuesday evening live, if you're with us at Haywood's on the Green, thank you so much for coming out. If you're listening on the Bear Country Sports Network, we are just 45 minutes away from Eastern Wrestling League action as the Lock Haven University wrestling team squares off with Ryder to open the EWL schedule. And how fitting that we are joined for the first time to start the show by Lock Haven University assistant wrestling coach Nate Carr Jr. Nate, it's great to have you on the show for the first time.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor to talk about what your kids have accomplished over the last week. A really nice week for your program overall, bringing a Big Ten team to the Thomas Fieldhouse for the second straight year. Michigan State coming to town. And as has been the case in the early season, your upper weights really stepped up. Tyler Wood at 174 pounds, giving you your first win. What did the redshirt senior do to perform so well?
Just stayed solid, stayed consistent. Been working a lot with Eric Thompson, our heavyweight coach, and they've been doing extra work with Corey Hazel as well. And they've just been putting in the time, putting in the work, and it's been paying off. Staying in a good stance, working on sprawling. Last year he used to do a lot of scrambling, a lot of funk, and got himself in trouble. Just staying in a solid position and giving himself the best chance to win by staying consistent, and it showed off and paid off in the second and third period when he needed to get it done. And the guy was coming hard. He was able to hold him off and get a counterattack and finish the match strong and on top and helped us get that W. It was huge for our team and got us rolling.
Tyler Wood's an interesting guy because you just talked about trying to get him to be a little bit more consistent, and a lot of times it's getting a guy who's a little bit passive to become more aggressive. Yeah. Not the case in his situation. He's an extremely aggressive guy.
Absolutely.
By nature. If you had to choose as a coach, would you rather have a guy who's a little bit passive that you're trying to make more aggressive, or an aggressive guy that you're trying to fine-tune a little bit?
Yeah, it depends on the guy's mindset. I mean, I'll take both athletes, whatever their mindset is, to help them be successful. That's what I'll use and help them develop in each situation. But if I had to, I would take an aggressive guy all day to help fine-tune him, make sure he's being solid. And again, I preach give yourself the best opportunity to win by your effort and wrestling smart and just giving everything you have. You give everything you have and never give up. When you come off the mat, win or lose, we're going to be happy with your effort, and you're representing Lock Haven Wrestling. So you get a guy attacking and moving forward and going out guns a-blazing, but being solid at the same time, you're going to have an exciting match for the fans, and you're going to see a guy that's going to give everything he has. So it's really exciting to see.
Speaking of guns blazing, Tristan Sponseller,
Holy cow, right?
Holy cow, that was my Halloween costume.
That dude's serious, isn't he?
At 197 pounds, Tristan Sponseller. Last year wrestled at 184. Yep. I know you didn't see him wrestle at 184 last year, but who is the guy you're seeing at 197 right now?
A guy that's confident, strong in all positions, tough on top, great from bottom, and has some good offense when he wants to go get it. He just continues to improve each week, again, working with Eric Thompson, and just getting better and better. Eric's been doing a great and amazing job. He's huge to our staff and to our program. Helps with the lifting, getting them strong, and that kid is strong. So just working hard every week and just improving and trying to get better every week. Had a concussion a couple weeks ago, so he was out of competition. Came back well rested, strong. Came in with a great Matt Town performance. Pretty much the OW at the tournament. Got a pin in the finals. Went 4-0 on the weekend, and just looked great. And moving forward into next weekend against today against Ryder, looks forward to taking another W, and as well tomorrow George Mason. So he's really excited about the opportunities improving, and that's what we like to see.
A lot of close matches did not go your way in the Michigan State bout, and that ultimately decided the overall result.
Absolutely.
For those young guys who were right there and came up just a little bit short, what needs to be different for them going forward?
Just being aware and recognizing scoring positions and how to assert yourself when those positions occur. We had 125 Jake Field on bottom, got rolled, had an opportunity. If he gets out and gives everything he has to get out, He's good on bottom, being confident there, whether you're breathing hard and kind of tired, just kind of overcoming a mental stress of the match and believing in what you've been taught, believing in what you've been doing for 15, 16 years. Getting out on bottom, he's been doing it for a long time. Just mentally understanding the situation and asserting himself and believing he can do it, he wins that match. Same thing, 41, we had Ronnie Perry, wrestling like top 15 kid. Great match, both guys scrapping, both guys in shape, both guys want to win. Rough call, we had him on his back. Actually took a screenshot picture of him on his back with the fall. Ref was on the wrong side, missed the 2 count. Should have had 4 points and definitely the fall. Ref was in the wrong position. I ended up coming and ended up biting us a little bit late in the period, in the third period. Ronnie got to escape to tie the match, and the kid continued to wrestle like top 10, top 15 kids do, and was able to take Ronnie down in the last 5 seconds. Told Ronnie that he wrestled well, and that was one of the things. Wasn't an effort thing. Both kids are good, and if we have 2 refs, maybe the ref helps us out and we get that win. So it's one of those things where you kind of, not the kid didn't wrestle great. Ronnie wrestled kid, that kid's tough, and we kind of just lost that match, and kind of the ref was in the wrong position, and kind of one of those things with wrestling. Wrestling's tough, and didn't get the call on that one. But we'll improve, and this week against Ryder, he looks to go out and dominate, wrestle like Ronnie Perry can wrestle, put on a show, get some takedowns, and do some great mat returns and get after it. So moving forward again.
And we will move forward, and we'll talk about the Matttown Open this past Sunday.
Yep.
Also talk about the upcoming matches with Ryder and George Mason, and also a special event coming up for your program this weekend as well. We're joined by Lock Haven University assistant wrestling coach Nate Carr Jr. We'll have more of the Lock Haven University Coaches Show from Haywood's on the Green in Mill Hall. Welcome back to the Lock Haven University Coaches Show from Haywood's on the Green in Mill Hall. We're here every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. until 7:30. You should make it a habit of yours as well as we head into the month of December. If you're listening on the Bear Country Sports Network, we are about a half an hour away from Lock Haven University Wrestling, as it's the Bald Eagles against the Bronx of Ryder. Joined right now by Lock Haven University assistant wrestling coach Nate Carr Jr. And Nate, we talked about the Michigan State duel. Let's talk about Sunday's Matttown Open. And 3 champions, 4 second-place finishers. What were the highlights in your eyes of your team's performance?
Just guys after a match, a tough match, just getting after it and getting back down to weight, which is huge, doing 2-day weigh-ins and getting after it. Ronnie Perry, after a loss, came out and was offensive and aggressive, getting pins, doing what Ronnie Perry does and getting after it. Same with Tristan Sponteller, same thing. OW of the weekend, just wrestled great, got a pin in the fall in the first period, just a bear on top and just strong and getting better every week. And moving forward, we had some freshmen do well. At 41, we had DJ Feldman. He did well, lost to Ronnie Pell, but he's been wrestling really great for us, and look to see him do well this season as well. Just overall, our guys just wrestled free and had a good time, and that's what we like to see. We want them to have fun as well as compete hard, and they did that. We had a lot of guys compete well.
We fast forward to what's coming up this weekend, and before we talk about 2 very quality opponents in Ryder and
Absolutely.
George Mason, special event on Saturday. If you're listening on the Bear Country Sports Network, still time to stop on down to the Thomas Fieldhouse. It's the Haven Coaches Tailgate.
Absolutely.
What should people know about that Saturday afternoon event?
We're bringing back for the coaches legends, King Cox, Neil Turner, Carl Puff, Gray Simons, and we're just supporting them and really recognizing their greatness and their legendary status that they had here at Lock Haven. They did so much for the programs, and we're excited to have them here. We're going to have a halftime show for them, give them a present and a gift saying thank you for your support here and thank you for how much time you've put in. And also we're going to have like an hour and a half from 5 to 6:30, kind of just a coach's show to recognize them and talk about Lock Haven Wrestling. That's from 5 to 6:30 at the Durwalker Center. You can register online or at the door. Just go to LHU.com.
Well, once that's all done, it's business.
Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
LHU against Ryder. It's LHU against George Mason. First, let's talk about Ryder, the defending EWL tournament champions.
Absolutely.
What do they bring to the table?
They want to fight. They want to hand fight. They're aggressive. They're gritty. They're not going to give you anything, and that's what makes them tough. They go after it. They're not scared to go try to throw you, try to do whatever it takes to win, whether that be technical or not technical. They're going to try to win, and they compete pretty hard. And they have some injuries and some young guys. They're in there now, and we look forward to scrapping with them. We just got to go tooth to nail and kind of get after it. They're going to hit us in the face. We got to go back and hit them in the face and scrap and do what we do, be technical, push forward, push the pace, and be tough on top.
A little bit of a junkyard battle.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be fun. Our first EWL competition of the year, my first as a coach. My dad was a coach at West Virginia for 14 years, and he was in the EWL. And before Ryder, it was West Virginia and Lock Haven, and they used to scrap at WVU and Pittsburgh and Edinburgh and WVU. So I was born into it. Watched it personally when I was 7, 8 years old. So I'm excited for my first coaching opportunity in EWL, and look forward to taking the win.
How about George Mason? What challenges do they pose?
Just getting back at it the next day, a 12 p.m. match, and getting our guys excited to get after it and go after it and wrestle. George Mason's going to come in again ready to wrestle. They're not going to just go out without a fight. They didn't travel from Virginia to take a loss, so they're going to be ready to go, and we have to be able to match their intensity and surpass it and get it done. And I think we can do that with the line we're going to put out there, and just got to go out there and be free and have fun out there and wrestle hard as they can. And our guys will do that, and I expect some good high intensity, some great wrestling, and another W.
Our One for Fun with Lock Haven assistant wrestling coach Nate Carr Jr. And this is appropriate for you because we watched as we were broadcasting the Michigan State match,
Yep.
you off to the side of the mat, and you are all aggression, all energy for the entire 7 minutes, start of the clock to the end of the clock, for multiple guys out there.
Yep.
As a wrestler, what was your favorite offensive move?
Oh, tough one. I got a couple good ones, but if I had to say one that scored most efficiently, I would have to say my low single, drop down, low single, right to a double leg. Worked for me quite a bit, and it was quick and fast, and I got after it right on your ankles before you knew it, and I was up on the double leg, and I'd taking you down, riding you down hard. So I'd definitely say a low single.
Lock Haven assistant wrestling coach Nate Carr Jr. We love having you in Lock Haven, and thank
Good
you
to be here.
For taking the time to make your first appearance on the Coaches Show.
Thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
And you can, again, hear Lock Haven University Wrestling this weekend on the Bear Country Sports Network, 6:30 p.m. against Ryder Saturday night, noon Sunday against George Mason. If you can't make it, tune in. If you can, come on out to the Thomas Fieldhouse and support the Bald Eagles. When we come back on the LHU Coaches Show, we'll be joined also for the first time by Lock Haven University head men's basketball coach Mike Nestor. This is the Lock Haven University Coaches Show from Haywood's on the Green in Mill Hall, presented by the Bear Country Sports Network. Welcome back to the Lock Haven University Coaches Show, filmed and recorded every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. until 7:30 at Haywood's on the Green in Mill Hall, and we're very excited for the first time to be joined by Lock Haven University head men's basketball coach Mike Nestor. Coach, off to a really nice start this season, and an off-season with a lot going on in your program. What were the off-season goals for the 2016 off-season?
We needed to bring in a big class. Luckily, we had 2 red shirts sitting out that we felt very comfortable with. And after that, we just needed some pieces to put around them. So with the returners, we had the 5 returners coming back. With those 2 making it 7, we brought in a class of 7. And we feel comfortable with them. Few of them are getting valuable minutes right now. A couple of them will take a little bit more time. But overall, the class has been a really good class to bring in for us.
What do you like most about your recruiting class?
They're coachable kids. They really come every day. They're new. They're fresh. They're excited. When you have such a big group that we've had over the last couple years of returners, right now it's just a nice group of blank slate type of situation, which happens every couple years when you have a program like ours and a big turnover. So they're just fresh and really into what we're doing.
You mentioned a couple red shirts. What did those 2 red shirts gain from being around the program for a year and getting themselves settled academically and socially?
Invaluable experience, just in terms of everything they did. They did a great job of practicing every day. They got to see the competition they're going to see on a regular basis. More importantly, they were just ahead of the freshmen we brought in, just by the way we coach and in our interactions with them, just being around campus, knowing professors and classes and whatnot. So they were really ahead of the game in terms of their freshman year experience, and they helped bring some of the new guys along pretty well just from knowing them and playing with them over the last couple of years in AAU ball before they got here. So that was a great experience for them as well.
You bring up that's a unique situation when you have so many newcomers to the program where redshirt freshmen are in a position where they can be leaders. How have they helped those first-year freshmen adapt to the overall college experience?
Really just to adapt to a different surrounding. A lot of the kids are from the city atmosphere, so, having two guys to kind of look up to in terms of just being freshmen, still living in the dorms, just kind of navigating through the college system, college life, so-called, being on time for things, knowing where things are at, how to act in the dorms, in the cafeteria, little things like that, your upperclassmen kind of forget about just because they've been here so long. And to have somebody that kind of can show them a little bit of the way there has been very good for our program.
Joined by Lock Haven University head men's basketball coach Mike Nestor on the LHU Coaches Show. Mike, you talk about coachability of this group. You talk about having a blank slate with them. How much are you enjoying coaching this group?
It's been great so far. We definitely missed some guys from last year's program and just over the last couple of years. But it is nice to it's really our first fresh start since we came into the program, Coach Alisiak and myself. So it's been really a good experience and right now everybody's on the same page. Everybody's working for the same goal. Everybody is in it together, and it's we haven't had a lot of adversity yet. So once that comes to the regular routine and we play a lot of league games, things change. But right now everybody's really in it together, on the same page, and the composure and attitude has been very positive.
We've talked so much about the newcomers. What did you like about what your returnees did in the offseason?
They came back ready. Brahim Jackson, Craig Slade, and Cole Renninger really came back ready. Seniors know this is their last go-around. Rais Hunt came back in better shape than he's ever been. Scott Brown has been improving every single year that he's been here. And they came in with a open mindset. We told them at the end of last year we were going to change some things up in how we coach and how we interact with each other and how we treat each other. And I think they were really open to that. And, Brahim Jackson being here the longest, I even told him this is going to be the most difficult for you just since you've been here for 5 years now and going through it. And he's been very positive and productive. And it's hard for them to realize, but these young kids actually look at them and follow what they do and how they act and how they react to things. And it's been very good to see their positive attitude really kind of trickle down into the younger kids.
You talked about facing adversity, and you did face a little in losing to Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Came back the next day against a quality Seton Hill team and beat them by 17. How encouraged were you by how your team handled that little bit of adversity?
It was good. IUP is a very good team. Defensively, they're strong, so I knew they would take away what our strengths were. And just, playing a very good team for us to come back next day, different attitude, mentally prepared, focused, really stayed within our game plan, which is the best thing I think we really saw. And just, overall had a very good offensive performance and played a lot better defensively in the second half. To come out of that with a split, that to me is a positive thing. So, moving forward, we hope we can continue to just take little steps each day to get better.
One of those two redshirt freshmen we talked about earlier, Amir Hinton, already with a PSAC East Freshman of the Week award under his belt. What has he done in his first season on court to impress you so far?
He's at that level of anybody, in my opinion. I think he's got a lot of room to go in terms of mentally. I think he can just continue to get better and focus, keeping his focus for the amount of time he's on the floor. But skill level, talent level, I don't know if there's many players that have what he has. He can get a shot whenever he wants. He can rebound the ball when he wants. He can defend when he wants. He handles the ball well. He passes the ball well. Those things are not an issue ever with him. It's just keeping him focused, keeping his composure, keeping a positive attitude in terms of his body language, and competing when he's on the floor at all times. And being a freshman, no matter whether you sat a year or not, it takes time, it takes experience to do that. And against Carlo, I didn't think he had that body language early, and we pulled him. In the second half, he went off for 23 points. So his skill levels is as good as anyone in the league, in my opinion. It's just making sure mentally he's in there just as much as he is physically.
With so much learning still to do for this young group, where ideally would you like them to be by the start of January?
The thing is crazy, and being from Philadelphia, if anybody knows the Sixers routine, it's trust the process, and we've been kind of trying to build that with our guys because, over the last couple of years we had a program that I felt that started out really strong and then kind of fell a little bit down, as the season progressed, whether it was, better scouting, better teams, just people being used to what you're doing and taking away your strong point. I think this year is a little bit different. I think we're going to start a little bit slower, even though we have a good start with our schedule. I think we're just going to continue to get better, and I don't think we're anywhere near we are in terms of how high our ceiling can be. So my goal is to make sure these guys do know when we play against some tough teams and have a couple losses, maybe we shouldn't, that we stick together, trust the process we're going through, and really in January and early February be playing at our peak. If we can stay healthy, I think that's a goal of ours for sure.
Our One for Fun with Lock Haven head men's basketball coach Mike Nestor. Early in December, you spend a lot of time on the bus, on the road. How do you pass the time when you're on the bus on the way to road games?
Put my earbuds in, listen to ESPN radio, and just kind of try to relax a little bit. Having two kids that get up different times in the night, maybe doze off a little bit, and just kind of, it's a peace of mind. Once you get on that bus and it starts going, you have no control over the bus. You have no control over the driver or how long it takes you to get there. So just kind of space out and enjoy a little bit of relaxation time.
Lock Haven University head men's basketball coach Mike Nestor, thank you for the time and continued success for you and your program.
Thank you very much.
That'll do it for this week's edition of the Lock Haven University Coaches Show. Thanks to the coaches who came out to join us once again. We record every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. until 7:30 at Haywood's on the Green in Mill Hall. If you're listening on the Bear Country Sports Network right now, coming up next, it is the pre-match. Lock Haven University Wrestling starting their EWL schedule against Ryder. Once again, I'm Jonathan Schwab, and this has been the Lock Haven University Coaches Show presented by the Bear Country Sports Network.